What is going on, you guys? Welcome back. Welcome back on into My Chess Journey, episode number 33. In the last episode, we got a win, bumped us back up into the 700s. And in today's episode, obviously, we're striving for another win, looking to push further into the 700s, get closer to 800s, which I showed you guys in the last video is possible for me. I have done it on my other account, so we're just going to keep trucking here, trying to push forward and get better. But like we always say around here, it's all about having fun and playing some good chess. So with that, let's get on into the game. See what we got today. We're playing with white. Alright, and I've actually, I have seen this a few times the last couple of days, and I don't super enjoy it, to be honest with you. It's a very, very annoying setup that I've seen black play. So, not a big fan. But we're going to see what we can do here. And we'll kind of go from there. So, it's always a little bit tricky. I'm trying to think. I mean, I could develop the knight here, but I don't want to do that in case he brings out the other one. Let's just develop some stuff, see what we can do here. The better move would have been to pin the knight to the king, but I didn't pay attention to that, so that's on me. We'll pin here. See what he does. This does give us an opportunity to attack the queen. If we move our knight here, we can attack the queen, check the king, and get the rook. So that's probably the order of operations here. If he gives us the queen, great. If not, we'll go here. We'll check the king. We'll take the rook for free. Or he'll go back like that, and we won't have that option per se. Let's go here so we block in his knight. Can't go to d4, can't go to b4. He could go over here to a5, but if that's the case, we'll just probably trade out our pieces there. Yeah, this is kind of tricky. We're in a little bit of a catch-22 here. I think the best option is going to be just keep trying to improve a little bit here. If he wants to take our knight, that's fine. We do have the queen to defend it. I'm also contemplating moving up. Oh, that was the wrong move. Yep. See? Okay. Let's see if we go. He's gonna go there or there. Let's go here so we can't get our queen. It's frustrating, but it's my own fault. So it's still salvageable here. I'm just trying to think. He can't check us. He's either going to go... I don't think he's going to go there. He's probably going to go here to e3 with the knight. And then if he does that, yep. And then he's going to target our bishop. So we got to go here to f2. And then he's got us in check. Yeah, let's just go here, I think. King to e2. Definitely not happy with this opening. Um, mm, mm, mm. This is definitely a challenge because I messed up early on. So now we have to try and salvage this. Just trying to find it. I know I got to be talking. I'm just really trying to not screw up any more than I already have. Which I know I got to think positive here. Yeah, checks. What if we go? So we can't go down. Can't go down. What if we go? What if we go here to F1? There's got to be something I can do here to crack this open. Maybe if I bring the rook to the C file, push the pawn. I'm trying to figure this out. There's got to be something I can do here to push this. Alright, so Buddy just wants to be annoying. That's fine. We'll move our rook up. Whatever. And actually, that's the wrong... Oh, wait. No, it's not. Never mind. We're okay. I do have the queen that can take the pawn here if it goes to e3. We are okay. We are okay. And actually, the better move there would have been to just have my queen take his knight. But again, that's the second time now. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing the board super well today. So yeah, it's a little bit frustrating. But it's the truth. So I'm hoping he'll just leave that knight there just one more turn. Yeah, he didn't do it. But we can take back. I really wish I would have saw that thing with the knight earlier. Yeah, see, now he wants to trade out. I could have gotten that knight for free. What's the move? What is the move? What's the move? I think we're just going to try and crack this open. Really wish I could have taken his knight. We'll do that. That's a little annoying. We'll just double defend, I guess. I could have taken that knight for free, dude. I could have taken the knight for free, and this would be a whole... We'd be tied up right now. Even though for some strange reason you guys can't see the pieces. The game's not lost completely yet, but I don't love our position. And it doesn't help, too, that his king's on the white squares. Okay, we'll do the trade. Yeah, see, right now, still, we could have had an even score right now at 3-3. But I missed the fact that he hung that knight. Hung it out there to dry, and your boy missed it. It would have also been a check, too, come to think of it. Maybe. Maybe not. Okay, so this presents an interesting opportunity here. We can take this, threaten the queen, and trade out, and we can have a rook versus rook and bishop endgame. So we did finally get that knight back. And we are up on time presently, which is nice because we were down on time the whole game. He does do the trade, so now it's a rook versus rook and bishop endgame. We do have a... Apparently we don't have an advantage, but I would say we do have an advantage. So now I need to think here. Alright, what if I just straight up... If I go here and he comes down to check me... Yeah, let's do this. If he comes down, I check him, and then he can't go here because of my bishop, and then he can't stay there either, so it's checkmate. So if he comes down to D1, he'll check us, I'll move, send the rook up one square, it should be checkmate. Come on, do it. Do it. You know you want to do it. If he doesn't do it, I'll probably just attack these. He does it. Alright, cool. So we'll go up one. We'll go up one. Yep. And this should be checkmate. No? There's a way out of this? How? Oh, he has to bring his rook here to D8. Yeah, he can only bring his rook there to D8. And that's checkmate. Yep. There we go, guys. See? Let's go. That's how you turn it around, baby. Let's go. And apparently he would like to chat to us. Let's see what he says. I don't know. I'm guessing he was probably writing G. I think he was trying to write GG, but he put GH. So we turned it around, guys. We got 12 points off of that win today. Puts us at 717. A new all-time high score on this account. Not my personal all-time best, but still very good. I'm so glad that he took that queen trade, bro, and he hung that knight. I was sweating for a while there. So we played with a 68.1% accuracy. He played with a 60.5. 0 brilliant moves for either of us. We each had 2 great moves. He had 7 best moves. We had 9. He had no mistakes. Good on him. We had 2. He had 1 miss. We had 2. But he had 3 blunders, and we had 1. He played like a 550. We played like a 900. Our opening accuracy was 74.8. His was 82.7. So that's I did make a comment about that during the game too, that he kind of beat us in the opening. Like our opening was not our best. Middle game was 61.1, still not our best. His middle game was 55, so we outplayed him in the middle game. And then, luckily, thank God, our end game is what saved us, which it historically has saved us. End game is what I always like to say is the best part of my chess game. So 79.8 accuracy for us and a 18.6% accuracy for him. Yeah, endgame is my bread and butter. I've said it a million times. If I can get you down to a rook, one rook, or even maybe two rooks, I feel pretty strong about it. You know, I like my chances. So very happy to see that. Here, I mean, when you're playing Scandinavian, it's usually traditional to take if you see something like that. So I've been taking back on some of my other games too, where I had this same setup. This annoyed me. It took me a minute to figure this out because usually they'll move a pawn up or something. That's usually what I see. So I had to figure out how I wanted to defend that. Brought the bishop out here to f4, which, I mean, this is almost our opening line anyways after the first two moves for us, so not too bad. Here, I thought about taking, but I knew he was going to take back right away and didn't want to deal with that, so I was trying to kind of just develop stuff, to be honest. I wanted to get this pawn out of the way so my white squared bishop could try and pin his knight to the king. So he takes, I move back instead of taking, because if I would have taken, he could have taken back with his knight. So we move back one to defend the bishop. He develops, we're developing. I'm just trying to figure out where's a good place to go. And then, like I said here, what I wanted to do was get this knight to d5, then move it to c7, checking the king, and then he would have moved the king somewhere, and then I could have taken his rook for free. But didn't quite go that way. We wanted to secure the knight by pinning it to the king first. And then he brings out his bishop to try and counteract that. So here we finally try to implement that plan where we put pressure on the queen while also trying to get the check there. He realized that. He may not have realized it. He may have not. I don't really know. So he moved the queen back, which totally prevents us from taking this and then getting this. So a little bit disappointing there. Here we're just trying to develop, honestly. I felt it was okay to trade here. And then honestly, my initial thought was to move this pawn from e3 to e4 to kind of defend the knight. And at the time, I thought against it because my queen was there, which I mentioned in the video. But after I made this move, I wish that I had kind of moved it up, because then he was able to take our knight and I couldn't take back. And looking at this now and seeing the fact that I totally missed that we could have pinned this knight to his queen would have solved a lot of our problems that we had in the middle and endgame with this knight in particular. So, because if I would have, seriously, like, there's nothing he could have done, because this pawn was already gone. He sacrificed it early on in the game. It was like the first piece I took. I think, or maybe it was this one. I don't know. Either way, this pawn is gone. So we could have moved here, and even if he would have brought his g7 pawn to g5, we would have taken with our bishop, still pinned the knight to the queen. So very, very disappointed in myself there. This was our one blunder maneuver that we did not go here, but instead chose to move this up. In a lot of my other games, I always move this pawn up as soon as they bring the knight out here, because it prevents the knight from going to e4 and g4. So that's why I did it. It was kind of instinctual, and I realized after I did it that, yeah, we messed up there. He got that piece, and there's nothing I can really do about it. And so here at this point, I'm just trying to figure out, I wanted to move the queen to a spot that the knight couldn't get it, because I knew he was coming this way. And I just didn't want to deal with that. If I had left the queen there, his knight would be threatening it now. So I wanted to get it out. Here we're just trying to put some pressure, get the knight out, and here at this point now he checks me, and I'm trying to figure out where can I safely move the king without jeopardizing my king and my other pieces. So we can safely move up 1 to e2 from e1. And here, at this point, I think I realized this after the fact, that I actually could have, oh wait, maybe not at this exact moment. My thought here was moving the pawn up 1 so that my queen can defend this pawn on f3 along with my knight. So that's why I wanted to open that line up. So he takes, we take back. He switches, and here I'm just thinking at some point this pawn's going to go, and I want to just have something lined up ready to go. I also wanted to get the rook out of here because it feels like he's trying to push and apply pressure in this area. Here with the pawn, obviously I got to move the knight. There's nothing I can do, so I spent some time. I spent about almost a full minute trying to find the precise location to fit the knight where he could be safe. Moves his knight there, checks me. Again, just trying to move the king out of the way, finding a safe spot that doesn't jeopardize the king or any of my pieces. And this is the blunder that I realized a couple turns later during the game that I talked about. I literally could have just slid my queen over from b3 to h3 and taken this knight for free, and then I also would have checked the king. So that was two great moves I could have made in this game against this knight, and I missed it. So that's fun. And eventually he did move the pawn up, thinking maybe he could fork one of the pieces. Luckily, I didn't even see this myself. I am very happy, thank God, that he did not see this maneuver where his knight could have taken my bishop, because I would have been in some hot water. But he didn't see it, so we take the pawn. Again, we're trying to just open this up because I feel like there was an area, there's something I could do. We just had to crack that open. So he takes, we take back. I did not even see this move, him bringing that dark squared bishop from f8 to c5. Did not even see that. So once he did that, I'm like, oh shoot, I need to double defend because the bishop's going to go, I need to take, the rook's going to go, I need to take back, and in the event he does go with his queen, we can take it. So luckily it kind of played out like that. We do some exchanging, and then he makes a very big blunder here, moving his king over, and that caused him to once again, not necessarily hanging his knight, but he left it available to take, kind of, sort of, because I do have the rook here to defend my queen. So we finally take the knight that was causing us trouble all game, that we could have locked and prevented so early on in the game. We finally get it off the board. That knight literally could have been the bane of us if he had saw that move from h3 to f2, but he didn't. So I offer the queen trade. He goes for it, and once I got this set up, I feel pretty good. Like I like my chances whenever someone just has one rook, you know. And as soon as he made this maneuver, I think I even said it in the game that I've seen something like this before in, like, when I do practice chess scenarios and stuff. So I kind of figured, like, hey, well, let's not go full throttle. Let's set it up, though. We can apply pressure on the pawns here, see if he figures it out. But I mentioned it in the game, too. If he takes the risk, which most chess players at this level and below the level, and even I probably would on some days when I'm not really focusing, they're going to take this shot. They're going to see, oh, his king's wide open. I can go for it. He totally forgot, and I'll admit, I kind of forgot, too, that my bishop was here and that it does block off this a7 square for the king. So it took me some time to see that, from 4:25 to 4 minutes. So it did take me 25 seconds, but I realized it, and that's why I brought the rook up. And I figured he would come down and do the check, and he did. And luckily, I actually calculated things correctly, and I just had to move the king out of the way. To me, it doesn't matter which square I go to, because if I would have gone to the E2 square, I feel like he would have just brought his rook back. So I wanted him to make him think he's chasing me, like he might get me. And once again, he makes a final blunder and sets up the checkmate perfectly. We were able to move the rook up one square, check the king, and the only thing he can do to defend against this is to bring his rook back up to d8, which he does, and then we take back because the king can't go here. No, no, can't stay, and can't go there. So with that, guys, episode 33, we get another win, and we step ever so closer to the 800s. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode, and I'm gonna get out of here. I'll see you guys in episode 34, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. All right.